The Danube Delta, Romania. The Danube River is Europe's second largest river in terms of water volume and drainage area. With its source in southwest Germany, the river flows 2,857 kilometers, or 1,775 miles, across 10 different countries as it snakes its way to the Black Sea. The wetlands area covering the estuary mouth of the river is known as the Danube Delta. Forming the largest and best preserved river delta in Europe, the Danube Delta was designated a World Heritage Site in 1991. The industrial city of Tulcea is the gateway to the Danube Delta. With a present population of 270,000, Tulcea has long flourished as a trading port, serving both the Danube River and the Black Sea region. Near Tulcea, the Danube River divides into 3 tributary branches. The first split creates the Tulcea branch and the Kalia branch, a river which forms the border with Ukraine. The Tulcea branch further divides into 2 more tributaries, the Solina branch and the St. George branch. These river branches subdivide into even smaller branches and then merge with others, creating countless channels and streams that separate the delta area into marshes, islands, and forests. This complex of multiple rivers comprises the vast Danube Delta. It covers a total area of 5,470 square kilometers, or 2,112 square miles. Only 13% of this area is land. The rest consists of lakes, streams, and reed-covered marshlands. The reed plant is distributed widely throughout the world. It grows naturally near or in water. Reeds are sustained by absorbing nutrients from the sand, mud, and silt trapped by their roots. The reeds found throughout the delta play an important role in purifying the water of the Danube. Organic matter in the river is one of the main causes of water pollution. By absorbing huge amounts of bacteria that thrive in the mud around its roots, reeds break down nitrogen and help filter the water. Reeds also absorb carbon dioxide. By acting as natural filters, reeds are vital contributors to the well-being of the delta habitat. Reed marshes also create ideal natural environments for birds. They serve as migration stopover points, as well as nesting areas for birds to raise their young hatchlings. The Danube Delta is truly a bird paradise. More than 1 million birds belonging to over 300 different species populate these wetlands. A flock of pink-tinged white pelicans. Their plumage turns pink during the breeding season. Each year, as many as 3,000 pairs of pelicans fly into the Danube to breed. They migrate here every April and May, after spending the winter in Africa and the Middle East. Among this flock, there is also a number of Dalmatian pelicans. Dalmatian pelicans are an endangered species. The Danube Delta is the only place in Europe to host a pelican colony. Visitors to the wetlands can observe a fascinating spectacle at breakfast time. The pelicans form a ring around a school of fish in order to trap them. With no way of escaping, the fish become a pelican feast and are consumed in one fell swoop. Common terns and great cormorants cautiously approach to feed on the leftovers. over 100 species of fish can be found in the estuary, including bream and sea bass. Such variety and abundance of fish make the wetlands an ideal bird sanctuary. An unusual group of people reside in the Danube Delta. They are called Lipovans. Living modestly and in complete harmony with nature, it is believed they settled here following a 17th century schism in the Russian Orthodox Church. These so-called Old Believers built a village in this isolated area after being driven out of Russia. This Lipovan village is called Mila 23 because it is located 23 miles from the mouth of the estuary. About 500 people live in this secluded fishing community. For this Lipovan fisherman, a day's work consists of 2 hours of fishing each morning. With this work alone, he says he can eke out a living to support a family of 4. Their simple lifestyle reflects a deep respect for nature and a way of life that is very dependent on their local environment. In Mila 23, Delta reeds provide a natural building material. They are particularly suitable for making roofs. Reed-thatched roofs have been known to last for 20 years. Thought to be the largest in the world, this reed field is invaluable to both the local people and the Delta organisms that live here. The town of Sulina is on the eastern edge of Romania. It sits on the Black Sea coast, at the mouth of one of the branches of the great river Danube. There are only a few cars in this town. Boats are more practical than cars. The town was once an important maritime trading center, housing the consulates of major European countries, such as Germany and France. However, alternative methods of transporting goods have led to a decline in shipping. Buildings constructed in more prosperous times have since been abandoned. The Danube Delta is one of the few remaining natural wilderness areas in Europe. As such, it is considered by many to be the last European sanctuary. Popular with serenity-seeking visitors, the increased number of sightseers to the Danube Delta is beginning to take its toll. There has been a negative effect on the delicate balance of the ecosystem. As a result, the Danube Delta Environmental Protection Commission was set up in 1991. The Environmental Protection Commission has installed more than 800 watchtowers in the Delta area, endeavoring to monitor ecosystem conditions and study man's environmental impact on the Delta and its wildlife. The blue waters of the historic Danube River flow into the Black Sea through the largest delta in Europe and the most dynamic wetland area on the continent. Untamed, undisturbed, and largely undiscovered, the Danube Delta is treasured as one of Europe's last great wildernesses.